Welcome to Mobile Armor Radio, the podcast for all things Mecha. Jumpship incoming.
Hello everyone and welcome to another exciting episode of Mobile Armor Radio. We're on episode 18 or season 2-6.
I refuse to accept that numbering convention.
It's an odd one, to be sure. We haven't. You think halfway through the year we'd be able to settle on some kind of numbering structure, but you know.
It's seasons. We're season 2, episode 6.
Yeah, we can do it that way. Yeah.
It's whoever's in charge gets to decide.
Well, it's whoever's posting. Yeah. That's I post them, so it ends up being it's going to be episode 18.
Well, I'm going to say, since I'm the one running the show tonight, I'm going to say, welcome to the show. I am one of your hosts, Brian.
I'm Chopper.
And I'm Rob.
And welcome to the Jumpship.
To the Jumpship.
Yep.
Well, we're onboarding and we're ready to talk about some giant mecha topics.
It is December.
It's going to be Christmas soon.
Yeah. It's cold outside. It's no kind of atmosphere.
Yeah. Almost makes you want to fight
It's cold outside of your mech.
Almost makes you want to fight a giant Santa Claus while you hunt down a Zaku.
Santa Claus. Why would you hunt Zaku? They're the good guys.
It's a shout out to 0080.
What about a Zaku dressed as Santa Claus?
That is also an option. All right, well let's keep things rolling. We'll be catching you guys up in the Dropship.
What's Dropship again? The stuff we're
working on.
That's what we're working on.
Once again, 18
So
episodes.
the section for Rob.
Listen, I'm old and senile.
Dropship landing.
Welcome to the Dropship. So it's the section of the show, if you're unfamiliar with it so far, as some of us sometimes are, where we talk about what we were working on.
That'd be me.
It can be tricky. But yeah, so, in that respect, Pat, what have you been working on?
Honestly, hobby-wise, not too much. I did just get, what's that big giant robot?
The Dreamforge.
You'll have to narrow it down.
The Dreamforge,
Leviathan Crusader.
Rob posted that link a while ago in our Facebook page, and so I jumped on it. It was, what was it? It's normally $40, and they were selling it for $20.
No, it's usually like $100.
Yeah. And then all the arms were like, all the different arms you can put on it are normally $20, and they were like for $5.
Oh, wow.
So basically I got the big giant robot and pretty much
all the arm options.
Six arm options, I think.
Nice.
With shipping all for like $60.
Yeah, Dreamforge right now, I guess they're switching to resins or something. They're changing their tactics.
So they're clearing out all their plastics.
And these robots are huge. So
as I'm working with mine, I'll start posting on the Facebook page again. So I started playing with that. Still working on some Monster Apocalypse. Haven't been really delving too much into that lately. As we're getting ready for Thanksgiving and everything.
That was a month ago.
Yeah, if you're not Canadian, if you're the rest of the world.
The rest of the world.
The rest of the world is the United States.
If you're not Canadian, you're American, I guess.
Yeah.
So I haven't been doing too much. You know, it's hard to get a lot of stuff done when you get the holiday season going.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll be leaving out for Christmas. So I just, not a lot of time at home. That's really what's been going on. So I have not been working other than playing around with the new robot. And still working on a little bit of my Monster Apocalypse stuff. I'm trying to finish off the Gorillas and the Guardians, the good guys.
Nice.
I blame Masters of Orion. I think that's why I have everything done.
Well, no,
we
I
can
still get stuff
about
done. The problem is that there's no mechs in that game. It's just a distraction. But we always do that late at night, though, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. But that's pretty much it.
Okay. How about you, Rob? What have you been up to?
I no longer get Gundam loot because I just got too many Gundams. My shelf got full. So I stopped Gundam loot. So I don't have any Gundam loot this month. But I've been working on, I have a Dead Zone stunt bot that I've been magnetizing all the arms. He's been on my desk for a while, but I'm getting him closer and closer to completion.
Nice.
So he's a mech. And,
what are you using for magnets? Like, what kind of size are you working with?
They're round and smallish. I don't know the size.
Okay.
I would think that they're 5 mil, maybe? Something like that.
Okay.
They're big enough they hold
Tiny.
it. They're not the really small ones, but they're in between. But I have all the arm options for the stunt bot, so I had to arm him up. So he's got his, I think it's a flamer, and he's got a claw, a saw blade, and a big laser gun thing of some sort. So I have them all ability to switch them out as I need. But
nice.
I always like doing that with all the Dead Zone Striders because different weapon options. So I did that. I also got from Kids Logic, we got the next set, which is it was 2 Zentradi power armors, 2 different ones, and a armored VF-1J. So they're fun. The details on those, they are resin, they are a little brittle, but the details are amazing on these miniatures. And I think it's well worth it. And they're getting into ones that weren't produced by Palladium when they were doing the game. So it's good to see different sculpts now. And I like them a lot. And I can't wait. Pretty soon the monster's coming out. And when I get that, I will be in love because that thing's going to be huge.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be in scale too, isn't it?
Yep, it's all in scale. Yeah, because the next one is going to be the one that looks like the Marauder, the Gulag or whatever.
The Gulag.
Yeah, so it's everybody's like, oh, I can use it for Battletech. I'm like, no, you can maybe use it for Cav, but it's way too big for Battletech. And if it's going to be in the similar scale to the Palladium one, because I have one of those from Palladium, and it is huge. It's beautiful, but it's huge. It's right in between, like big enough for like 28mm and small enough for, bigger than 15mm. It's pretty big. And then I have the Dreamforge Leviathan Crusader. I built mine. It's huge. It needs screws to build. It's got a lot of moving parts.
It needs screws. I haven't even opened mine up yet.
Oh yeah, it's got screws to build it all. And it's also, you kind of have to glue it to keep it in place, because it is so big that its own weight kind of pushes it down, especially its torso is not very thick. He's only pretty much got a spine and 2 pistons to hold his torso up. So I had to kind of glue his pistons in place once you get him into the position you want to be, because otherwise he kind of droops. But
he gets hunchbacked.
Yeah, well, you can make him look like whatever you want, but he is. I find his midsection's not strong enough. His legs and his arms are all great, but his midsection's pretty thin. I had the 15mm version of that one and the Mortis, which is the other one that they offer. And it's cool. It's like the 15mm one is great for 28mm games because it's huge. This one is gigantic. It's a good foot tall almost.
It's for 28mm though, isn't it?
The second one is, yeah, the big one is. But I'm saying even the 15mm is big enough for 28mm. Like, you could use that as a powered armor. Like, it's quite large.
Yeah, I almost bought the 15mm one.
Yeah, I bought those before, and I think I paid like $50 for those. And this was $25 for the 28mm one, so I couldn't resist.
And the 15mm was only $7?
Yeah, it's great. Like, if anybody wants these Dreamforge games, you should jump on them right now. I think they're still on sale. You must have a whole warehouse full of these things.
Yeah.
But some people are that company is kind of screwed up some Kickstarters, so they're kind of against it, but I don't care. It's cheap plastic. So my morals don't go as far enough to stop me from buying a giant mech for $25. So. Well,
yeah, especially when it's on clearance. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And his chain gun is probably, I don't know, half a foot long. So my 15mm one, I have 2 chain guns on him because I love them. This guy, I've just got the sword and the chain gun. So Yeah, it's fun. It's obviously designed to be for 40K. You can tell it's like a 40K knockoff, but I still love him. And he's cool. He's like a knight. A giant knight.
It did look like an Imperial Knight when I was looking at it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it was built as that, because Imperial Knights are like $300 for those things. So,
yeah.
So to get it even at, I think the regular price is like $100. So to get it at $25 is a no-brainer. So jump on that.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think that's
Makes
it.
sense.
I don't think I've done anything else. Building-wise. Because that took a long time. It took me a whole week just to build that thing. Because it's a lot of bits. And most of it can move, and most of it is...
The arms swap out pretty easy?
Yep, it's just like it's almost, you just twist them, and it's got like a mechanical joint. It's pretty, unless you put glue in the wrong spot, I guess, then you'd be screwed. But, yeah, it's just like a little T-bar that kind of locks it in.
Okay.
So yeah, very cool. I love that thing. It is huge. I have to find a piece somewhere on my shelf to put it, because it's so large. I don't know where I'm going to put it, but it doesn't really fit anywhere. So I have to paint them up still, though. Other than that, I think that's it for me for new buildings. I don't have any kits, and the only other kit I have to build is a Battlestar Galactica Viper, so maybe that'll be next.
Is that the one I sent you?
Yes, it is. I haven't finished painting my Raptor yet, so I probably should do that first. Brian, what have you been up to?
Well, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. In that a lot of stuff is more of like an on-order kind of state. I am also getting myself a stunt bot finally, as I plan to build up a Marauders force.
Hey, yay!
Do you have some grunt bots?
Yeah.
For it?
Not yet. But I'm continuing my tradition of painting up my mecha in a Gundam theme-esque, and so my stunt bots are my Marauder force is going to be pretty much my Xeon team.
Oh yeah, that stunt bot
which will be fun.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm painting up my stunt bots to look like a Zaku.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna have to I'll think of some creative ways to implement the design. I'd really like to see if I can do it 100% Mantic, with as far as pieces go. And that might mean tearing through some terrain bits box kind of stuff. But I'm excited to see how it goes.
You can definitely use guitar wire.
So I'm dropping some arrows off my stomach.
For some of the hoses, to mimic some of the hoses from the...
Oh, yeah.
From the Zaku.
Are you going to straighten the legs so he's standing up straight?
I don't know. Like, it's one of those things where I kind of like I mostly kind of theme them rather than completely replicate. Mm-hmm. To a certain extent, like my 8th team, my Easy 8 Strider, and I guess my Goof Custom Strider were a bit more heavily modified to replicate that look and that design. But I'm trying to think of creative ways to, again, kind of keep it 100% Mantic. If not to enter it potentially in competitions, just to really kind of show and demonstrate what you can do with Mantic's line, which I just have fun doing.
Yeah, that stunt bot definitely is Zaku looking anyways. It's very industrial, and
yeah,
it won't be crazy to, you paint it green, you'll be pretty close right there.
Yeah.
Or red. And what color are you going to do it? Are you going to do it Chars, or are you going to do it the regular Zaku?
I think I'm going to start with the regular Zaku first.
You're going to make a Rick Dom.
Well, it's funny, like, the domes I've actually been thinking about doing, the bolts for, basically painting up a three-person bolt team as the Black Tri-Stars. I thought it would be a lot of fun.
That's pretty cool.
I still want to get 3 Zaku or 3 Rick Doms, paint them that way.
Yeah, the models, yeah.
Yeah.
You have to have them flying, like, really.
That's expensive, but I can do it.
Yeah.
You have to, like, just build the top part and then have the back part just like a blur as they're flying around.
But, yeah, I need to, it's going to be painting a whole lot of green, so I need to restock on green paint and kind of figure out exactly what I want my scheme to be. Might do it closer to like in the 8th team, there were some tan fatigues that the Zeon forces wore as ground troops, but then they also have that dark green. So considering that their Marauders and Dead Zone are more of like an orc variety, which is generally green skinned.
I do them like a brownie kind of,
Yeah, just want to make sure I've got a nice contrast between their skin and their
otherwise you
uniforms.
Just dip them green and say you're done.
yeah, pretty much. So, yeah, I'm excited to see how that comes together. I've played Rebs so much that it's fun to start experimenting. And who knows, for Adepticon next year, I hear that the Rebs are probably going to be represented, which is always my big thing. So I might bring another team and probably get slaughtered because, like, GCPS are they drop fast. But yeah, so I got that kind of project in the wings. I'm in a similar boat with the kind of double header of holiday seasons coming up. A lot of travel and time away from the hobby, so won't have as much to do there. But I do want to get I do want to get at least like one maybe just general model kit done because I've got a bit of a backlog now.
Pile of shame?
Yeah, not shame as much as just stuff I want to work on. Like I got
Pat
my
knows
Stark
all about
Jig.
that. Don't worry.
Yeah. I've got a couple of bots there that I've been meaning to put together. So I've got that. And then kind of on a similar note, on the hobby side of things, some of our friends of the show, Uncertain Scenery, had just put out some street and like spillway kind of terrain. And he's got a lot designed for I forget the millimeter size, but he's got some that's designed for like a Battletech or a Cav type setting. And then I think this new one is basically like a set of roads that you can get for more of a 28 millimeter.
Roads?
So, roads.
We don't need no stinking roads.
We don't know roads.
So if you're interested in spiffing up your scenery for your gaming table, I definitely recommend checking out that stuff. It's a little on the pricier side. It ships from the UK, but the quality is there. Like it's like engineered to be very sturdy and stable. Like this stuff holds up and it lasts. So.
And I don't find it even that expensive, especially compared to like Foreground or some of those people. Like, it's not that bad.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah, it's competitive, we'll say.
Yeah, like it's MDF generally is not too expensive. Like for what you get, you get a lot in that box. It's just the shipping that might kill you. That's all.
Yeah, I guess that's the biggest thing is the shipping. But he usually has some holiday sales coming up, so. If you've been interested in checking out, and especially in the Dead Zone area, he has like a full set for Dead Zone stuff that's like 2-tiered maps that are all cubed out already. It's really cool stuff, and I definitely recommend it.
Yeah, the
yeah,
one Rick had that was cool. That was like it was almost like you could play in the sewers beneath the board. It kind of lifted the whole thing off. That was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Little tunnel systems.
Yeah.
That was not a paid advertisement. That was just, we like those guys.
Nope. We like those guys. They're good stuff. And, yeah. So, but that kind of wraps up my main hobby, stuff. I'll have a little bit more in the ComStar coming up, but, let's take a break for that.
Message from ComStar.
Welcome back to the ComStar. So our kind of media and general topics of other things that we've been interested in and working on or checking out in the area of giant mecha. So This time I'm going to throw it over to Rob.
Yes, we were just talking in the break about Cav. It should be shipping soon, but it came from China and it got stuck in customs. They had to do like a biological check or something. I guess sometimes creatures get in with this stuff from China and they have to make sure, but it's been stuck there for a while, so it should be shipping soon, which would be nice, and then I'm sure it'll be into general release, but I cannot wait for all my Cav stuff to show up.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
That's all I need, just more stuff.
Always more. More is better. So that's happening with Cav. Also, the Battletech video game Heavy Metal expansion is out, and I've been crashing, bashing on that thing. Pretty fun. Like 7 new mechs, I think, that you can find. A whole new like little mini expansion. I'm actually halfway through it about where you're trying to. It's funny because this video game takes place in way before the clans. I think it takes place in like maybe the 30s and the clans are in the 50s. It's something like that. But there's a ship that's going like that was from the old times, and you keep meeting people that are trying to get this ship full of lost tech, kind of. But there's also some other hints about who it's from, and like it's got connections to the clans and stuff, which is funny. Like all your characters have no clue, but it's like little in jokes about it. It's kind of fun. I know Pat hates that because I mentioned the word clans, but that's all right.
Yeah, I tuned out as soon as you said clans.
Other than that, Mazen Kaiser SKL, we gotta give a shout out to Windu over on Discord. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But I forgot to mention that Mech in our voting last week, because he did vote for it. I just missed it. So I went and watched the OVA, and it's a sequel to Mazen Kaiser, which is itself a spinoff from Mazinger Z, or Z, I guess.
Mazinger Z.
And it came out in 2011, and it is the most metal thing ever. It's like, at first I'm like, what the hell is going on? And then heavy metal music everywhere, people getting destroyed, and
it's a lot of killing.
Yeah, it's pretty fun though. It's a fun little OVA. I think it's only an hour, or like an hour and 20 or something like that. I think it came out originally as 3 30-minute episodes, so like 20 minutes.
Yeah, it was 3 30-minute episodes.
Yeah, so it's pretty short. And it was on YouTube. I have to find it on YouTube, so I watched it there. But do buy it if you can find it.
Yeah, the graphics are pretty cool. I mean, if you like Mazinger, which I do, because Mazinger, I had one of those. I had him as a Shogun Warrior toy when I was little. They kind of metaled him up in Mazinger SK or Mazen Kaiser SKL.
Yeah, he's got like a skull on his. That's where the SKL comes in. He's got a skull on his forehead that turns into a ship that flies around, and
what that iconic red kind of lightning bolt I read across Mazinger's chest is this kind of almost bat-looking thing on his chest. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then
it's very goth, I guess. It would be another way to say it.
Metal. It's metal, man. It's metal.
It's very sexy vampire.
But it's fun. It's pretty much robots fighting on an island, and there's 3 different factions, and
yeah, they get locked in there by some kind of weird energy curtain.
But the rest of the Earth have to send these people in because the curtain is falling, and it's going to take the rest of the world with it. It's going to explode or something. So they have to shut it down. So this special team gets sent in to shut it down, including the SKL. So it's pretty fun.
Yeah, because there's 3 factions that are controlling the parts of the machine that has the curtain going, and one of them is kind of samurai-looking, if I remember right, and then there was an all-woman one. And
then there's like a punk one. They're like Mad Max rejects, kind of.
Yeah, kind of like a barbarian kind of looking thing.
Yeah, so they pretty much have to either defeat or friend up these people to get what they need, and it's fun. And it's got at first I was like, wow, this is just crazy metal, and they're just destroying everything. But it does have a little bit of an arc, which is nice, and I like it. It was fun. It was a fun little OVA. I suggest it to whoever can find it.
Yeah, it actually was good.
Like I say, metal. If you like metal.
If you like Japanese metal.
But yeah, so that's about it for me. I don't think I have anything else. I still reading the Robotech remix comic book. It's still odd. The jury's still out on that one, so I'll let you know.
Okay.
And the Transformers comics are still good. Which is fine. Speaking of which, Pat, we got to get back on reading the old I did yesterday.
Yeah, I need to finish. I was halfway through and then I failed and stopped.
We gotta get back into that, doing our little episodes.
Yeah.
So
nice,
Brian, what have you been up to?
Well, I actually had just got back from going to an anime convention called DaishoCon. It was down in Wisconsin Dells, and it was fun to hear on one of our listeners, I think, tried to get in touch with me down there. So Chris wanted to give you a little shout out. Sorry I didn't connect with you while I was there. Just kind of, I think ships passing in the night, but yeah, it was a fun convention. It's one I go to pretty regularly. I think they're on their 11th year. It was actually started by a couple of friends of mine back in college, and it's just become huge. We're talking like thousands of attendees and whatnot, and it was a really fun time. I got to catch up with a lot of people. Finally saw most of the movie Bumblebee.
Hey.
What did you think?
I really liked it. I missed the opening section because they started it without me.
John Cena is so bad.
No, he's over the top, but he's campy. It's fun.
It's not even campy.
It was. I had a hoot with it. I think it can be one of those where I think the right audience can really make a difference. Like if you're watching with a bunch of friends. But I really enjoyed that movie. And speaking of John Cena, the outtakes that he did where he basically does a lot of ad-libbing. And he's basically trying to make everyone else laugh in the scene by keeping a very straight face. And they keep shooting the scene like it's continuing. It's weird and fun in that respect. But yeah, on top of that, there was actually a panel on Gunpla that was there. Sadly, I didn't make it to that one, but it was really cool to see that it was something that got attention and people were interested in. I talked to another friend while I was there and kind of sparked a discussion. It's like, it'd be kind of neat to do some kind of small kind of Gunpla building kind of either mini competition or, bring a couple really simple, suits or mechs that people could put together while they're there, really kind of stir up and encourage the hobby, as it were. So that's kind of an idea I've got stirring around in my head right now. That could be a really fun thing to do in the future. But yeah, so that was a pretty fun time.
Nice.
And amounts to a lot of what I've been doing. The other thing would be that one of my buddies has got me more committed to really starting to make my way through that Gridman show. Was it SSSSS? There's like 5 S's and then Gridman. It's for the one from Studio Trigger. Apparently has a whole bunch of references to Transformers, Shattered
Glass, yeah. The alternate universe.
Yeah, the alternate universe.
Yeah, it's cool.
Where like different characters in the show are like designed slightly, like parts of their outfit or their behavior and stuff will be reflected in some of those Transformers characters. So it's kind of a fascinating merry-go-round of fandom when you start thinking about it. It's like Transformers became, originally kind of like animated and designed in Japan, became hugely popular in their own right in the United States. and then that fandom has like crept back into Japan in a fun way. So definitely going to start plugging away at that and making some headway in that show.
Cool.
But yeah, that's kind of what I've been up to for the most part. And yeah, I know, Pat, we kind of got some of your stuff in there. Was there anything else you wanted to add?
No, I mean, the Mazin Kaiser SKL was the last thing. I'm still trying to finish up Star Blazers 2099. Is it 2099? Or is that the Marvel Comics?
That's Marvel Comics.
One of them is
2029. I forget. So the remakes.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think that's the 2099, because then there's 2199.
Yeah, that's the year afterwards. But other than that, not a lot of media-wise. I mean, the video game Battletech still, I haven't messed around, I haven't dove into it as much as Rob is yet, but I'm working my way there.
Sure. Okay. Well, with that, I think we can move on to the main topic of the evening in the MechBay Hanger.
Now entering the MechBay Hanger.
All right, and welcome back to the MechBay Hanger. So that's the part of the show where we talk about kind of a theme or big topic for the month. And so the topic for tonight, since it's kind of getting around the holiday season, was kind of an interesting one where we're like, okay, what would, if you could have any mech or model or toy, or just for fun, if you could have the real version of it, what would it be? And we're deciding
the real version.
I'll throw that one in the mix.
Oh, now you're messing the whole list up now.
Just do like two of the ones that you picked, and we'll do maybe one crazy one. So with that, I did Rob first last time. So Pat, what's the first thing on your list?
Well, mainly when we talked about this, I really focused on models.
Mm-hmm.
Because, it's what I like to do. And since money is no object, this is not my number one, but it's my number two. And I'm looking, since money is no object, I would love to get the Gundam Ashtray Red Frame Kai. Perfect grade.
Yeah.
This Gundam is the one who's red and white. He's got the two samurai swords. He's got the little shield that turns into a crossbow, like a tripod setup. And it's just a good-looking model, man. Rob, you gonna put some pictures up?
What's that?
You gonna post some pictures on this for this? No? But if you go to Gundam Planet and you look up that model kit, it's
Red Ashtray, is that the one?
Yeah. Ashtray Red or Red Kai. It's just a good looking kit, and I would love to have it, but it's $280.
That's it? That's not bad.
That's
perfect grades are way more expensive than that.
Well, yeah, but again, that's not my number two, not my number one. So that's what I was looking at.
Okay. How about you, Rob? What's the first one on your list?
First one on the list is something I've talked about a lot. It's actually 3 models, but it's the Flame Toys, Transformers, Thundercracker, Skywark, and Starscream Furai model kits. I will have these. It's just I don't have them yet. But I do want those because they're cool. They're very stylized. I'm not too crazy about the other Furai kits, but I think it works with the Seekers. For some reason, that skinny shape and everything kind of works for them. But I
think the Optimus.
It's all right. He's a little skinny for me. Optimus should be a little bit beefier.
Beefier.
I'm
a beefier Optimus.
I do like the Seekers look awesome in that, and they're cool. And they're reasonably priced. I think they're about, $35 US each or something, but on the secondary market, they're already going for quite a bit, so hopefully, at C2E2 in March, they'll have them. I'll be able to pick them up. They better. Pat's promised me they will have them. And if they don't,
that's where I got Nemesis Prime and Starscream.
Yeah, but that was last year. It's been a whole year.
That was so last year.
That was so last year.
But you didn't even go, so.
But I will be there this year.
Yes, you will. It's already done deal.
Yeah, so can't wait for that. And I will be excited. So, Brian, what are you looking at?
Well, the first one on my list, if money was no problem, I've always wanted to get an SDF-1. The whole big ship, with the original arms for the Daedalus and whatever the heck the other arm was called.
Yeah, it's funny. I always remember the one.
Yeah.
What's the other?
I have a model that has both of them. It's the Daedalus and, oh, for God's sakes. Now I gotta look it up.
But yeah, basically the version where one is the aircraft, they're both aircraft carriers. Prometheus. That makes sense. Daedalus and Prometheus. But, cause I know there's a lot of the movie versions of them which have the more just kind of, straight, more kind of spacey type arms set up. I've always loved the ramshackle slapped together idea of the aircraft carriers that were pulled out of the ocean being attached to this thing. So that's number one on my list. I would love to get one that's a nice big version of that. I know there's like a 1/3000th scale one out there.
But you want the one that actually transforms?
That would be pretty sweet. If I didn't have to worry at all about space as far as where I would put this thing, or my fiance would have to say about that. But
oh yeah, wait till that comes into play.
Yeah. But no, it's gonna be good. But yeah,
there is one that is 1/3000 scale. It's only $1,400 on Amazon.
Only $1,400. So yeah. That's kind of the first one that comes to mind when I think about ones that I want. But yeah. We'll kind of keep going round robin, I guess. So, Rob, I'm going to throw it at you this time. What's next on your list?
My next one is, this is one that, is pie in the sky, because I probably won't get this one, because it is quite expensive. Now, maybe not $1,400 expensive. I'm not crazy like Brian, but that's the Fan Toys this time, not Flame Toys. Fan Toys FT10 Phoenix, because it is Jetfire or Skyfire. It's the KO version. It's huge.
Is it a model?
No, it's a Transformer. It's the KOs though. It's before there was a new Jetfire. They have the new Commander class, I think it's Commander class. I have, but this Phoenix was the best you could find back then. And I still kind of want it to, I have pretty much all the different versions of Jetfire now. So that would be to add to my collection. I need that one. But it's quite expensive now. Especially since they don't make it anymore. So once it gets in the secondary market, it gets crazy pricey. So, yeah. That is, on the wish list. Current price for this is, $250, but it's out of stock on that place. So, yeah. $250 on this thing. It is huge. It is beautiful. It is the one of the pinnacles of Jetfire technology. So yeah,
Jetfire technology.
That would be on my list.
Nice.
So, Pat, what's your next one?
All right, so my number one pick, as far as models are concerned, would be the perfect grade. 1/144th scale Bandai Neo Zeon Gundam Unicorn model kit.
Unicorn,
nice.
Yeah, if you haven't seen this Neo Zeon, this thing is a beast.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the box is ginormous. The model is 34 inches tall. I'm just even looking at the specs of this thing. The box weighs 21 pounds when it's shipped.
Oh.
Yeah,
nice.
that's pretty expensive.
It's ginormous, this box. If you go to Amazon, you can look it up. They show a little girl, not even a girl, it's a woman holding it, and it's about the size of a suitcase. It's checked luggage, basically, is what it is.
Nice.
But the details are so intricate, especially in the head area. The Neo's young. It's just the one that comes with the little jet legs that protrude out.
You like the red one or the new white one?
The red one.
Yeah, the white one has that new ring around. I think you have to pay extra for that ring around the back. I've heard people talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
I think the red one has it too. But yeah, these things are crazy detailed.
So this thing runs about $550.
That's it? You can't afford that.
It's not that I can afford it again. I have a wife now. I can sneak $30, $40, $50 stuff in, but $550 is not going to happen.
No, that's kind of hard to hide that one.
Yeah, that one's not going to happen.
Well, if it's any consolation, it's 700 Canadian. So there you go.
So, but that would be, if we're just doing two things, those two would be the two ones I want. The Ashtray Red Gundam. What was that? Is that, which Gundam show did that come from? Do you remember off the top of your head?
The red?
The Ashtray Red, yeah.
The Stray Red one? Wasn't that a book?
Was it a book? I thought it was in the...
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, I'm not even sure. Gundam Seed.
I think it was one of the Seed
books.
Novel series.
Yeah, it could be.
Okay. Yeah.
It's been a while.
It has been a while.
Yeah, and they did have for Seed, they had tons of novels, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. That's cool. Yeah, Pat went big with his.
Yeah, he did.
Well, so it's anything we could want, you know what I'm saying? Well, it is Gundam Seed, though. You're right.
All right, so for my next one, kind of sticking with some classic designs, I've always wanted to get a kit for Gunbuster. If there was one where it was the two ships separately that could somehow join, like in the movie or / show, I guess OVAs would originally be. That'd be a really fun one to get. It's a weird cross between a super robot and a giant robot, like a real one, and like. For the most part, if you've never seen Gunbuster, like it tends to play it pretty straight, and then suddenly it whips out a cape from nowhere to reflect beams from lasers or from aliens, and it's a fascinating series to be sure, with highs and low points as far as quality goes. But I've always liked the design of it. I thought it was a really cool ship / mecha, and the thing is wicked huge. So I know I was just happened to be checking on Hobby Link Japan right now, and there's a 1/1000th scale Gunbuster running about $60.
That's not bad.
Yeah, and it looks like it's pretty.
1/1000?
Yeah, 1/1000th scale.
So they have the specs?
Let's see. 42 centimeters by 32 centimeters by 10 centimeters.
2.2 centimeters per inch, so.
24 centimeters in height.
Yeah,
12 inches.
The approximation. I guess that was the box before.
So roughly.
So
it's about 10
inches. A big one.
10 inches tall. It's pretty big, yeah.
And I mean, in the OVA, that thing was ginormous. It was standing like on the bow of a spaceship.
Yeah.
That was pretty long. So, yeah, that would be a fun one to get, I think.
Cool.
All right. I'm going to throw it back towards Pat.
Oh, no.
For the last one here from you.
And this is anything if for the real thing you wanted. You threw this at the last minute.
Yeah, the thing I switched on the last minute. To make it a bit more interesting.
So I have two Off the top of my head, I think I'm going to go with the Rick Dom Char Custom.
Haha.
Char's Rick Dom, I think. It was between Char's Rick Dom or Char's Zaku, because the Zaku was the first one, and I really enjoyed it, and you really got to see it in action in the Origins version of Char. But I just like the Rick Dom the Rick Dom robot in itself, just the way he kind of glides and everything.
Mm-hmm.
You just like the flares.
I do. I like the whole thing about it. So, if I was to have a real mech, I would want the Rick Dom in red.
I should just choose RX-78 just so you could beat him up.
Well, I didn't realize we were fighting each other. Because if that's the case, then I'm just going to go ahead and get the Zong.
That's right. The one that beats him.
I'm just waiting for you guys to go, well, then I'm going to take a day on and just vaporize the universe.
That's right.
But how about you, Rob?
Obviously, there's only one mech to choose. And this is if you can actually fly the thing, right?
Sure.
Because I'm choosing the VF-1S Valkyrie, obviously.
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
But you have to be able to fly a jet and pilot a mech and pilot a Guardian mode, so.
Well, it goes without saying, right?
If you had the skill.
Yeah. Because this would take a bit of skill to fly. But, yeah, if you want come on, it's a jet, it's a
Listen,
robot.
If Rick can get into one from a prop plane.
Yeah, it's gotta be pretty easy, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's pretty intuitive, probably, yeah.
He goes into it from a single prop plane to a twin turbo jet that transforms. No
that can stop thrust. Imagine the G's going through it. That's one animation thing I always loved about Macross is that anytime that he switches, we've got a close up of Rick / Hikaru. He always slams forward.
Yeah.
Whenever he switches thrust. That's good.
But there is he knew how to fly a plane at least. I'm actually deficient in that section, so I'm actually a step back from Rick. That's pretty sad.
Right.
But yeah, what else would you want? Come on, it's got everything. Brian, what about you? I'm sure you have some crazy one that I can't wait to hear.
Well,
Evangelion.
No,
that doesn't turn out well.
Well, I had a couple on the list, but if I wanted to go real robot versus super robot, I was kind of on the fence, but I think I got to go with Johnny Raiden's Zaku 2. So it's like a high mobility Zaku, painted in a very red and similar scheme to another more infamous character.
Copycat.
I know, but man, Johnny Raiden's too good.
Johnny Knoxville? What?
Johnny Raiden.
Might as well. Yeah. You guys have very similar. You both chose Zeong.
Well, because they're the good guys.
Yeah. I have an issue with guys now. Jeez.
I was split down the middle with that and then Gundam Alex.
Oh, there you go.
From 0080. I love that design. The one that has the Gatling gun mounted in the wrist. It's so cool.
What about...
and hey, that's piloted by a redhead, so the red theme continues.
There you go.
There you go.
No heavy arms or anything like that, speaking of Gatling guns?
No, that's a little too much Daka. Boy, does he burn through bullets like you wouldn't believe.
I would assume so.
But yeah, so that was a fun little topic for us. So
if you want to send us
if you want to send, no, we won't.
Yeah, I'd be more than willing to take a Neo Zeon.
Yeah, it's
donations for the show. But no, feel free to leave comments in the section below about your kind of wish list of giant mecha, whether they exist in real life as a giant robot, or if they don't even exist as a model kit. Feel free to leave a comment in the section below. We love to hear from you guys, and and continue the discussion there. So, with that, I think we'll head to the ExFil.
Let's ExFil out of here.
All right, welcome to the ExFil as we start wrapping up the show here. Hey, this is going to be the last show of 2019.
You got me scared there.
So
of
crazy.
The decade.
He's like,
we're coming up on 2 years. It's hard to believe that we've been doing this for almost 2 years now.
It's not been almost 2 years. It's only a year and a half.
We round up.
We rounded up when we were last week, too, or last month.
Anytime over one.
Don't be afraid of time, Rob. Don't be afraid of time, Rob. It's okay.
Yeah, it waits for no one. But yeah, so I think it's safe to say, we hope everybody has a safe and wonderful holiday season.
Yes.
Or just
Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah.
Wrap up for the 2019.
Yep.
Going into 2020.
Happy New Year's.
And Happy New Year's from those of us here at Mobile Armor Radio. Hope it doesn't involve, an Endless Waltz-esque, hostile takeover from some government with using giant robots.
No, I would like to see that, actually. I don't have a problem with that.
Quit selling it.
Well, now that's got to be it. We have to watch Endless Waltz because it's a Christmas movie.
There you go.
That's true.
And it has that kicking theme song. So I think with that, I've been Brian.
I've been Jobber.
And I'm Rob. Go to Discord. Go to Facebook. Go to Twitter. Tell us your favorite mechs you want to buy, or you want people to buy for you,
or you want people to buy for you.
If money is no object, your favorite model kits.
Actually, I'd like to see some of the crazy ones people come up with.
Yeah.
There was that. Remember, we saw that unboxing of the Mazinger Z huge one that was like 1 of 100.
Yes,
it was gigantic. The box was the size of the person, something like that.
Oh.
So yeah.
All right, looking forward to 2020 and March now with the Mobile Armor Radio.
This has been Mobile Armor Radio. Join our Facebook group by searching for Mobile Armor Radio. Find us on Twitter at @MArmorRadio. Find us on iTunes and visit our website, mobilearmorradio.podbean.com. Join us on the 1st of every month for more Mecha discussion.